G'day everybody, hope you are well and had a good weekend. It was an interesting weekend after a horrible day on Friday, so took some time out, relaxed, and I'm back into it again now. I want to walk you through the top 10, take you through and show you what I'm looking at the moment, because we did see some activity over the weekend. Saturday, in fact, had a pretty bullish day. What we've now got is a micro trend within the macro. So when I say that, I mean, look, there's a higher low here, there's a higher high here. Effectively, this is the level that I want to see gone. We break above this level, and again, that will be the first time we've seen a third push to a higher high within, or since 2017's bull market. Then, of course, the next level is here to get a weekly uptrend. Now, as much as it is looking a bit more bullish here on Bitcoin on the daily, we're certainly not out of the woods yet, so to speak. Let me just take you through these midterms right now. Right here as it stands, look, I might even consider a trade if we get it down into these levels around that 4,000 mark. Actually, probably a bit above 4,000, but off 4,000 would be warranted as well. Possibly a little cradle setup might present itself for me to get involved with. Now, of course, we saw it pull back cradle there. I didn't trade that. If you had, you would have got your would have at least got a 1-to-1, and of course, it's pulled back. Is that actually now a new low? Let's have a look. The low 41. Yeah, so you would have had to stop at 4,400. So 4,000. 40.5, and it looks like you'd still be fine. Either way, you know, it is what it is. It's not looking that great in the 4 hours as far as trading goes. Across the rest of the top 10, let's have a quick look. Get that back on the daily and run through. Of course, Ethereum has done the same sort of thing. It's pushed on, moved to a new higher high here, just creating a higher low to higher high. Again, still need to get above these levels for that consistency to continue. It's still just consolidating more or less, not looking all the best. The weekly there, not a great deal going on. As a matter of fact, let's have a look at the weekly. Here we've seen a number of weekly candles, 4 weekly candles upwards in a row. Again, we haven't seen that for a very long time, not since way back here. Mind you, the move, it needs to be said, is somewhat lacking momentum like we saw here, but it is more than likely, well, sorry, it's looking more likely than it was back here to create a weekly uptrend, simply because we have a possible higher low right here. Of course, when we look at Ethereum, I just covered that. You go to EOS. It didn't break above this high. Basically, we saw a higher low. It didn't push on to new highs there, so still relatively sideways there on EOS. And if I look at the lower time frames, there's nothing of really of any interest there to me right now. Still, Lumens, again, very similar. I'm more than happy to see it pull back into the cradle zone here. It's just holding and consolidating. No trading opportunities starting to show up for me. Look, Ripple's been very, so look how long it's been sideways for, and a really ugly sideways too. You know, it's been very disorganized is probably the best way to put it. Nothing at all of any interest there. Litecoin maintains its upward momentum here on this daily chart, and just recently it started to sell off. I'll pull back into here. Would it interest me for trades? Oh, it's pretty divergent there on the 12-hour. It's not probably one that I'd be too interested in just yet, nor even on the daily. If I wanted to take this on the daily, I'd want to see it push on a little bit further out, get a bit more momentum, and then pull back. Bitcoin Cash has been moving quite well. It's definitely had a very good run, the strongest run out of all these markets over the last week or so, pushing on from what, 130 to what, 160 now. Not looking quite so bad there at all. It did pull back. It just didn't pull back and give really that many opportunities. As you can see here, there was a cradle there. It wasn't one that I decided to take. So again, it's just sort of sitting back and waiting to see if that can continue. A pull back in to a cradle, that might be worthwhile, but not there yet. Actually, what do we got there? Looks like there's some resistance of some kind. Negative, I'll get rid of that line. It's no longer relevant. Okie doke, on to Binance. Well, Binance, again, holding its ground up here. You can see on this 4-hour, higher low, then to a higher high. I'm not looking to trade any cradles into this point right now. It's just not really where I want it. Very strong divergence then. There's really potential for it to continue to pull back even further. With that being said, is there anything here? Oh, there's a little bit of resistance there. Look, I'm going to draw it in. Nothing there for right now, but if it was to come back up and consolidate tightly with a higher low, there might be options for Bitcoin breakout type trades. I'm just going to leave that in there as it is. Of course, it has had a very, very strong run since the trade that I took way back here. Not on Tether, on Bitcoin, but nevertheless still looking quite strong there. Tron is back in that cradle zone, bearish looking candle right now, but I'm not looking to short that. The trend doesn't look good enough. And finally, Cardano. This is a fantastic trend, one that I am looking at closely. You know, pull back in on the daily here. I'd be happy to look at that as a cradle. Same can be said for this 12-hour. It's just got to come back in a little bit deeper. For me, I'm going to use some Fibonacci now. drop that in there. Somewhere around that 50 to 61.8 would be the region for which I'd be more interested on Cardano. As you can see, as we go lower, it gets a little bit less interesting. I'm going to take that out for now. So across the top 10, look, we have seen some good momentum. We have seen some good movement. We need to hold these levels right now. Of course, we've seen a bit of selling off come in after that move up, but this was a really strong move. Interesting to see what happens here. Hopefully we don't see another week of just consolidation. We see a continuation this week, which would hopefully open up more opportunities for trading against these higher top 10 margin trading pairs. Of course, there has been a lot of opportunity trading against Bitcoin, and that's where I've been focusing my attention in those markets to date. So guys, have a fantastic day. I hope you're well, and I shall speak to you all again very soon. Bye for now.